Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 24 Summer Career Mode. We're returning today off the back of clinching the Premier League title in the previous episode, beating Arsenal by 7 points to clinch our first ever Premier League trophy, and we're looking to complete the double today as we want to win our first ever Champions League as well, our first year playing in the competition. And we've made it all the way to the final, looking to beat Sevilla, who they themselves also going for their first ever Champions League win. Now they have won an old school European Cup winners trophy, but they're yet to win the reformed Champions League. Of course, the Europa League kings, Sevilla, with 7 titles in the club history, looking to win Europe's elite here in the Champions League. Not really got too much to go over before diving into this game, so let's jump straight into it. We are on home soil as the final is being played at Manchester United's Old Trafford. Whether that will make a difference or not, I'm not too sure. But of course, looking to clinch the League and European double today with a Champions League win. Come on, you Eagles. Well, underway then, and the Crystal Palace fans in pretty good voice, as you would expect. And as I mentioned, we are sort of on home soil, at least in terms of the country, as this is being played at Old Trafford. So a stadium that we've played at plenty, of course, and looking to go all the way to win the League and European double, which would be a fantastic achievement in just our 3rd season of the save. Of course, Sevilla are a strong side. They got a decent team, but I'd actually say out of the teams that we've played in our run in the Champions League, Sevilla are arguably the weakest. So we should be going out there looking to play with some dominance and some swagger and get the job done, as Mateta's denied early. That's loose, and Mateta heads on again. And once again, the keeper is equal to it. Good start from the Eagles, looking to get that breakthrough goal, and Mateta's denied again. Pacho looking to float it back into the middle, and Sevilla clear. It's up in the air. Decore wins the header. Mateta flicks on. Matthias Sule! Oh, he's just got too much on it. And it's all Crystal Palace in the early stages, but just gets under it a little bit too much. Have the ball forward. That's good defending by Pacho, but again we fail to clear, and again Pacho's in the way. Pulisic will pick up the loose ball. There's Veerman into Teze. The Dutch lads linking up. Pulisic back to Jordan Teze. Veerman again. Nicely worked. Strike comes in, and this time it's Aaron Ramsdale having to make the save. Of course, they are the Europa League kings, but it was us that won the Europa League last year with that crazy final against Real Madrid. This one's been a little bit quieter so far. Here goes Matthias Sule again. Sule onto the weaker right foot, looks to bend one, and Restes is behind it again. He's made 3 or 4 sort of comfortable saves. We've not really created a clear-cut opportunity yet, as Mateta is once again denied by the Sevilla shot stopper. Sule from the other side, looking for Mateta again. And for the 3rd time from these corners, Restes denies the Frenchman Mateta, and he's there again. This is just ridiculous. These two having their own individual battle. Corners into him. This is just utterly ridiculous. Cunha looking for him again. A little bit more comfortable for Restes that time. It'll drop to Mark Gurhey, and again the bodies are in the way. This is a ridiculous little spell of pressure. Lovely. Cunha doesn't quite get his header where I wanted it to go. Sule, Decore, and there is Mateta. Brilliant. Sits everyone down, and Restes there again. Oh, I just cannot find a way past this man. I said that the final's not been quite as good as the Europa League against Real Madrid last year. It sort of sprung into life in the final 15 minutes, but Restes, we just cannot find a way past him so far. Deadlocked at 0-0 at the break, but Crystal Palace have certainly had the better of it. Well, Matheus Cunha scored a free kick against Manchester City. much different position, this one, but Cunha looking to go around the wall. Cunha! Oh, it's off the post. Oh, I don't believe it. We're just not destined to score today. This is ridiculous. Martin coming down the left. Sule goes with him and wins it back. Brilliant by Matthias Sule. And it really has been all Crystal Palace pressure in this second half. Sevilla have barely been forward, but we just haven't been able to find that breakthrough as Mitchell looked to peg it back to Mateta, and Palace will have a corner. We've looked dangerous from them so far. Can we find the breakthrough from one? It's Mateta! And we do have the breakthrough. Of course, it's the Frenchman, Jean-Philippe Mateta. And after his little 1v1 battle with Restes, finally he gets the better of him. And Crystal Palace are 10 minutes away from lifting the Champions League trophy. Well, you can't say that we don't deserve that as well. We've been much the better side here. And I should have put my suit on the sidelines there. I've just seen me in my shorts and my long coat. Not sure what my gaffer's playing at. But yeah, we've been much the better side here today. And it's just about seeing it out from here. Veerman, not long for Sevilla. Sal into Torres, dispossessed though. Jorginho nicks it back and finds a good ball forward to Cunha. And there's Eddie, and we've just got to keep hold of it as Jorginho slides through Matheus Cunha. And Cunha onto his right foot, deflected and in. And that'll do it for Crystal Palace. Matheus Cunha wraps it up. I'm not sure he's going to be credited with it, but he won't care one bit. Whether it's an own goal or the Brazilians, Crystal Palace lead by 2, and we deserve it as well. We've been the better side out there tonight. Huge deflection. I'm not sure if it was even on target, and I think Restes would have got there anyway. I think it is going into that bottom corner, but big deflection off Martin. I think it'll be an own goal, and it's not. It's gone to Matheus Cunha, but there is the whistle, and Crystal Palace in our final season of the save, completing a league and European double. We won the Europa League last campaign, our first piece of silverware of the save, and I said this year I wanted to go one better and challenge Man City for the Premier League title. Well, we did that. We blew everyone away in the league and won it at a bit of a canter in the end. Wasn't sure what to expect in our first year in the Champions League, but I wasn't quite expecting us to go as far as we did. Winners of the competition in our first year in it. I don't think many teams, if any, can say that they have done that. And it will be the captain, Mark Gurhey, to lift the trophy just a couple of weeks after lifting the Premier League trophy at Selhurst Park. Here in England at Old Trafford, it will be Mark Gurhey lifting the Champions League trophy for Crystal Palace. And what an achievement. What a season for the Eagles. And what a fantastic save as well. A big thank you to you guys for sticking with me throughout this year of FC 24. We obviously had our main big save at the start. We've had a couple of smaller saves, both of which I've really enjoyed with Girona and now Crystal Palace. And I have to say, I'm absolutely buzzing for FC 25. I've got the first save already planned out. I'm really looking forward to it. And what a way to end FC 24 with the Eagles. Yeah, honestly, guys, if you're still here and watching, just want to say a massive, massive thank you for all the support in FC 24. This year as a whole on YouTube, the channel's really grown. I feel like our videos, or my videos rather, have got better, and I hope you guys have seen that and have reaped the benefits. But yeah, I just want to say it's such a massive thank you, because without you guys I wouldn't be doing this. And to see the comments flooding through, I love it when I get comments from you guys just saying that you're enjoying the save. It honestly means so much to me. And as I say, the channel's really grown this year, so I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. At the end of each game cycle, there's not a huge amount of support for the games, because, you know, they're at the end of their cycle. No one's really playing them, no one's really watching them. But if anything, I've seen just as much support as I did at the beginning of the game cycle. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Just wanted to mention that there is Royal Antwerp. What a fantastic result for the Belgians. And I guess this is exactly why the Europa Conference League was founded, to give chance like Antwerp, like USG, like Olympiacos, who won it last year, a chance to compete and win European silverware. And the Belgians, Antwerp, lifting the Conference League. As for the Europa League, is Xavi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen beating AS Monaco in the final. Pretty good final that, between two very decent European sides. And of course, as we already know, Champions League won by Crystal Palace. As for the other domestic competitions, the Carabao Cup, where we were knocked out in the quarterfinals to Everton. Well, Liverpool faced Everton in the semis and battered them across 2 legs. They faced Man City in the final and did come out on top, so they'll be playing in the Europa League next year. And as for the FA Cup, I haven't actually checked this after our disappointing bow out. It was Liverpool as well, with a domestic double of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. We, of course, had that really disappointing loss to Bournemouth in not the previous episode, it was the episode before that at Wembley, and Liverpool beat them pretty comfortably at Wembley once again to lift the FA Cup. And the Premier League, I did show it at the end of the previous episode, but here is a full rundown of the table in our final season of the save, where Crystal Palace have won the Premier League and the Champions League. I keep saying it because I'm absolutely buzzing, man. What a way to end the save and the game cycle. I'm so happy. And we're going to close out the season and the save, taking a look around the leagues and also one final look at the squad hub. And for AFC Bournemouth, well, they may have lost the FA Cup final, but they did manage to return to the Premier League, beating Leeds by 2 points, as those who sort of ran away with things in the Championship. The playoffs will be contested between Middlesbrough, Blackburn Rovers, the Blades, Sheffield United and Millwall. I quite like that as a playoff lineup. As for League Earn this season, it was PSG on top spot once again. They didn't win it in Season 1, but in 2 and 3 they were back on top spot, 5 points clear of Marseille this season. As for the Bundesliga, it is back-to-back titles for Borussia Dortmund. They won it last year in the save, pipping Bayern Munich to the title. This year, Bayern down in 3rd, Leverkusen in 2nd, and SC Freiburg wrapping up the top 4 in Germany. As for the Italian Serie A, it's AC Milan pipping their local rivals Inter to the title by just a single point. Napoli, who were reigning champions, are just a point behind Inter themselves, finishing in 3rd, and Juventus in 4th, wrapping up the top 4 in Italy. Well, a change of winners in the Netherlands as well, with Ajax winning it this time, with PSV, reigning champions, finishing in a disappointing 4th place, a point behind FC Twente in 3rd and Feyenoord in 2nd. The Liga Portugal also saw a different league winner, with FC Porto this time on top spot, pipping Sporting Lisbon, who did win it last year. Benfica in 3rd, and Braga, you know I love SC Braga, pretty disappointing season for them, down in 6th place. Well, as for the Saudi League, it's Al Hilal managing to retain their title. One of few sides to do so this season, but yeah, they did manage to win it last year and reclaimed their crown this year. The Scottish Championship, now Archie, I hope you're watching, I'll put your comment on screen here, asked if I could show the Scottish League for the end of season. And he's a Celtic supporter, but unfortunately they did lose out to Rangers. 0 losses as well, an unbeaten season for Rangers, beating Celtic, their local rivals, by 7 points to the title. Change of winners in Spain too, and Barcelona absolutely romping La Liga, 20 points clear of their rivals Real Madrid in 2nd place. They were clear winners, and Sevilla in 5th, trying to win the Champions League to get back into the competition for next year, but it looks like they'll be going back into the Europa League, where they'll probably be favourites to win it again. And quite an interesting one here. We'll end off with the Turkish Super League, as Besiktas managed to win it. Normally it's either Fenerbahce or Galatasaray, but they were 5 points clear of Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce side, and a very good season for Besiktas winning the Turkish Super League. Well, I don't normally show this, but I wanted to have a look at the career summary here. Of course, one league title, no domestic cups won, which is unfortunate, but 2 European Cups, the Europa League and of course the Champions League. We had 165 games played, 105 of those were victories. We had more draws than losses and scored 255 goals as well. Our biggest win of the save came at the beginning of this season, beating Everton by 4-1, and our biggest defeat was that of the same scoreline as Man City beat us in February of last year. Our record transfer fee was this summer, bringing in Fikayo Tomori for 77.5 million. We of course lost Eberechi Eze and Michael Elise, 2 massive sales of 2 of Palace's key players, but yeah, we replaced them so well, and that was a real figurehead of this save, the signings that we made and how important they were to replace those key players. And as we're going to run through the squad hub here, I'm not going to go through every single player, especially those out on loan, because we've got a full squad of 52 will be here forever. But starting with the goalkeepers, Freddie Woodman, our backup goalkeeper in the Cups, kept 4 clean sheets in 9 games, but he literally did only play the Cups. Super Cup, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, 4 clean sheets in 9, and just a decent backup when called upon. But it was Aaron Ramsdale who was our main man between the sticks. 23 clean sheets in 38 in the Premier League and 6 in 13 in the Champions League. So 29 in total in 51 appearances, and a very, very good first season for Ramsdale, who was our replacement for Dean Henderson, who went the other way to Arsenal. Joe Whitworth didn't make a single appearance. He was just here for the squad registration. Goodman and Pratt both out on loan. As for our defenders, on the left-hand side, Tyrick Mitchell, not growing anymore at 26 years of age, but he's just solid down that left-hand side. He gave us a bit more defensive stability, as I said, when we signed Ait Nouri, who's more of an attacking player. He grew really well this year, up 4 ratings in just 28 appearances. No goals, but 2 assists. And of course, Tyrick Mitchell did get that big goal in the Champions League away in Turin to draw us level against Juventus. I think that might be his only goal of the save. As for our central defenders, a lot of the game time was passed around. I think Tomori's our highest rated player at 89, but of course the captain Mark Gurhey played most of our games, 41 appearances. Pacho was the main player on the left side of our back 3, scoring 4 goals this season. Fantastic season for him. And then Ballard, Lacroix and Richards were more sort of the backup brigade, but all 3 of them got some decent minutes and all performed pretty well. And Lacroix with 2 goals, 1 in the Champions League, 1 in the Premier League, was a pretty good signing, grew 3 ratings up to 82. So very happy with our central defenders. Kadioglu, unfortunate to see him go down towards the end of the season. He's still got around 6 weeks until he's back, but 33 appearances, 1 goal and 7 assists from that right hand side. Such a good outlook going forward. And that tells in his stats for the season. Got on the score sheet, and as I say, 7 assists, with 4 of them coming in the Premier League. But Milan was a very, very solid backup for him. Of course, stepped in when Kadioglu went down injured, but even when I had to rotate the side and call on Milan, he was absolutely solid. 34 appearances across all competitions, no goals, but a pretty good 4 assists from right wing back. Well, as for our central midfielders, kind of grouping these positions together here, it was Adam Wharton and Decore who were my main 2 in that midfield. Wharton now up to 85 overall. Another fantastic season from the Englishman at just 22 years of age. 1 goal and 8 assists in all competitions, 6 of those coming in the Premier League. And him and Doucouré just sort of complemented each other really nicely in that midfield. Doucouré obviously injured at the beginning of the season, so Jefferson Lerma did make a lot of appearances as well, 30 in the Premier League this year. We offered him a new contract at the beginning of the season, and at 31, growing a rating to 81 overall. Pretty solid season for him, and 15 clean sheets in those 30 games. Very, very solid. Jorginho and Freuler, the two older heads, both now 34 years of age. I think both will be leaving at the end of the season as well. We know Freuler is going to Lorient, and Jorginho we probably would have sold in the summer as well. Now at 34, declining it pretty rapidly, but both solid when called upon. Freuler, 3 goals and 3 assists. For a 34-year-old, he didn't feel like it because he was everywhere. Jorginho, an experienced head, as I say, 22 appearances, 1 goal and 3 assists. And Will Hughes only made 11 appearances, most of those in the cup, a few in the league as garbage time. But yeah, one of the OGs, and I sort of love Will Hughes. He became a bit of a hero in this team, even in the latter stages when he didn't really play too much. Wilfried Zaha, a bit of a tough season for him. We obviously brought him back at the beginning of last year, and he played quite a lot in the Europa League, but he was injured at the beginning of the season. Declined down 3 ratings, now at 33 to 77 overall. Only the 1 goal and 3 assists this year. And yeah, I think potentially would have been sold in the summer, or at least would have stayed and not featured too much next season. But 21 appearances, as I say, 1 goal and 3 assists. Decent player to bring off the bench. As for Daichi Kamada, a bit of a strange season for him, because he played quite a lot in that sort of as a left attacking midfield role, but we never really got the best out of him there. 28 appearances, just 2 goals and 1 assist. And I feel like he should have had a lot more quality than he did bring to the team. I preferred him slightly deeper in a centre mid role, but we had so many players there, it was so difficult to get him in. So yeah, Daichi never really kicked on in this save, but a decent squad player to have. But one man who did kick on, after losing Ebere Eze in the summer to Man City, his replacement, Matheus Cunha, what a fantastic season. 15 goals in all competitions, was big in practically every competition we played in. 4 goals and 3 assists in the Champions League. 8 goals and 7 assists in the Prem, and 3 goals in the FA Cup as well. What a fantastic replacement for Eze Matheus Cunha turned out to be, and arguably had a better season than the Englishman last year before his big move to City. Quick note on Zach Hurst as well. Didn't play a huge amount, just 14 appearances, but he did get 1 goal and 1 assist, of course, scored in one of the early rounds in the Carabao Cup. A homegrown player, the only man who really made it out of the academy and grew quick enough to feature in the team. And I do think if we'd had a few more years with him, he could have become a real staple in this side. But never really got the best out of him, just 1 overall growth this campaign. I probably should have loaned him out at the beginning of the season. But the only man to really make it out of the academy was Zach Hurst. As for Raksaki, another man who came out of the academy but is a real life player, he got some good game time towards the end of the season, and most of his minutes coming off the bench or in the cups. 23 appearances, 1 goal and 6 assists. Pretty good return in terms of his assists this year. And yeah, did get some good minutes towards the end of the season. We got loads of players out on loan. Where is he? Ian Mackay grew really nicely out of Stuttgart, up to 78 overall. Got some nice growth on some of these other guys as well. Arthur Paul, Kirk Malcolm, both up to 75. And Morgan Whittaker probably would have been replaced in the summer, as he's not really getting much better anymore. Just 1 goal and 3 assists for the Englishman. Doesn't feature too frequently, and that's because he had this man in front of him, Matthias Sule. What a fantastic season for the Argentine. As with Matheus Cunha, a fantastic replacement for Michael Elise. Of course, this is second year at the club, but 10 goals and 17 assists, and some big goals as well. Got 2 in the Champions League at the Metropolitano that set us on our way to qualifying to the semi-finals. And yeah, just a really, really great option on that right-hand side. I loved using him. He had, it was the 5-star, 4-star on that side, and he was just such a threat. Grew 2 ratings up to 86, and at 23 years of age, I'm sure he would have continued growing. As for our strikers, we're nearly there, guys. Bear with Haji Wright with a really good goal return again. 6 goals and 1 assist in just 10 appearances. Most of those did come against lower league opposition in the cups, but still a fantastic scoring record. Odds on Edouard didn't really feature too much this year. Again, just 16 appearances. 2 goals and 2 assists for the Frenchman, but it was Mateta and Nketiah who really shared the minutes. We didn't have any injuries to our forward players, so didn't really have to call on anyone, but Eddie Nketiah played more in the Champions League, playing in all 13 of our games. 3 goals and 3 assists. And he also got 5 in the Premier League, although I think 4 of them came really early on against Liverpool and a hat-trick against his former side, Arsenal. But it was Mateta mainly in the Premier League, grown 3 ratings up to 82 overall this year, but he feels like an 87, 88 overall player. He is fantastic. 28 goals in all competitions, of course, scored in that Champions League final. Played all of our Premier League games, notching up 27 goals and 6 assists. And he was the real spearhead at the top of this team. And what a front 3 it was we had with Mateta, Soulé and Matheus Cunha. But guys, I think that is going to do it for today's episode and the save as a whole. And FC24 as a whole as well, as we close out the FC24 game cycle here with Crystal Palace. I've really enjoyed this save. It's been really good fun, and I think with the realism we had selling players when big bids came in and having to replace them, it made it really enjoyable rather than just keeping the same players throughout the course of the save. We did manage to keep a few of the key players: Mark Guehi, Czech Decore, Adam Wharton and Tyrick Mitchell, all in the starting 11, of course, alongside the main man, Jean-Philippe Mateta. But I really enjoyed the save. Ended perfectly with a league and European double, and I'm really, really excited now for FC25. It's just around the corner, and I've got lots of big plans for some exciting saves in the game cycle. So keep an eye out for our first, where we'll be returning to the Premier League, starting with one of the newly promoted sides. You'll have to wait to find out who it will be, but that will be coming very soon. I hope to catch you for it, guys. Take care and peace.